2 minutes to start. And as we expect everyone to come in, 2 minutes. So 2 minutes. We have a very good weather, and I'm sure we're going to enjoy ourselves today. And once again, I would like you to welcome you to the Digital Innovation Forum organized by Alpha Bravo Aviva. So before we start, as a culture here, we have safety here, one of our top priority.
Well, welcome everyone. Good morning. Victory is going to be right back to take us through the safety brief. We are so delighted at Alpha Bravo to have you here with us. One thing that we live for is SDG Goal 9, innovation, infrastructure. Why? We can. As simple as that. We can. And if we can, then we will. And if we will, then we must. And if we must, then we will do it because Africa is depending on us. Please stretch your hand across to somebody who is sitting on the other side and greet them this morning, just in case you haven't already. Good morning. Just stretch across. Yes. Good morning. Glad to have you. Fantastic. If you haven't already, there's an instruction here to scan and get the order of events. We have not more than 5 items on the agenda today, so please do well to scan. Depending on the model of your phone, all you may need to do is open your camera, and that's all. But there are some models that you will need to go and find other things to support the models. But let's see. Face your camera there, and it should take you right there to download the order of events and you keep us on track. I'll welcome Victory back now to take us through the safety briefing, and after that, we get into the start of the day. Welcome, Victory.
Thank you so much. All right, so not to waste your time, let's go into what we have today. So we're having the safety briefing right now, and like I mentioned earlier, our culture here is safety. So I would like you to take the next few 5 minutes as we discuss that. So, as Alpha Bravo here, we prioritize safety, and I would like you to know the emergency plan and the map here. So, in case, and also just for your information, there is no plan drill today. So, in case you hear the alarm, please proceed through the exit as assigned, and the ushers will also help you to go down. So, the muster point is outside the gate, just in case. So, we have fire extinguishers by the side here and another one in the lounge, and we have another one in the other office there. So in case of anything, and don't be afraid, we have the emergency response team on ground, so they are well trained, so you don't need to panic. So just sit back and enjoy the event. Thank you.
Thank you very much. We'd like to say a very warm welcome to some of our big ogas from NUPRC. Without you, we will not be on track. We'd like to say welcome to our colleagues from PETAN, Petroleum Technology Association of Nigeria. Thank you so much for your camaraderie, your support, your encouragement. Welcome to our industry friends, partners, Aviva, all the way from South Africa. Welcome. If you want to clap, yes, it's a good time to clap. To all those who've traveled far and wide within Lagos, because sometimes moving even from Oniru to Lekki is travel. So we say thank you for making it happen on this wonderful Thursday morning. It is my privilege to be Master of Ceremonies today. Joyce Daniels, Queen of Talk, is my name. And many years ago, my office was downstairs next to Alpha Bravo. And we used to walk in and out every morning. Hey, Tony, how now? How na day? Tombra, what's going on? How you doing? And I'm so glad that almost 10 years later, this is 10 years later, we've grown. We were in one tiny cubicle before. Now we have almost the whole first floor. Now we have half of the second floor. We also have the pets. Come on, put your hands together. It's growth. It's growth and discussing accelerating Nigeria's industrial transformation through digital innovation. That's the theme. Innovation, I always say, starts with people because there's no innovation that can be driven on its own, right? Alpha Bravo has shown that invest in people, people drive innovation. And everyone in the room believes in that. So thank you for showing up, not just in person, but bringing your expertise and your curiosity because conversations will be had. It is now my joy to welcome to the microphone for his welcome remarks. Before we now have the video, our Oga at the top. Some of us call him MD, but today, allow me call him Innovator 001. Because innovation starts with the mind. And this man is innovative, and we are seeing the result today. And he's going to lead the conversation of innovation. As much as he's my job brother, eyes on. He's also our industry role model because he shows us how to get work done. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Tombra Okoria to the microphone.
Good morning, everyone. To all our distinguished guests, all industry stakeholders here present, I want to sincerely appreciate our partners all the way from South Africa. I know you guys had a long flight yesterday. Neil, thank you for coming. Wade, nice to see you. I hope you brought some tattoos for me. You know, he has tattoos all over, and I actually love those tattoos, right? So, Oga Obi is the Vice President of PATAN. I want to sincerely thank you for finding time to be here out of your busy schedule. We know we are enjoying the benefits of what you guys have done over the years, the advocacies that you guys have done over the years, you know, formulating as a pressure group, NCDMB, you know, the Nigerian Content Bill, you know, the petroleum industry bill. We don't take you guys for granted. So we keep on looking up to you guys to see how we can take the baton and continue to move. So thank you so very much for finding time to be here. Our partners from Renaissance, we thank you all, you know, for finding time. I may not be able to call everyone, but I want to equally sincerely appreciate my dear friend that taught me how to play golf, Engineer Uche. Then to all our partners, Priye Berezi, we hold you so dear in our hearts. All we can say is that God continue to empower you. God bless you for all that we do, because he has been a great supporter of our dreams over the years. And what you see here wouldn't have been possible without his vision and his support over the years. And we are indebted in gratitude to you. Okay, I would say just take it from me. What you see here is one of the achievements of local content, right? In the sense that he has the opportunity, and he has given us part of that opportunity, not just giving us the opportunity to support us over the years to be where we are. So if not of him, I don't think we'll be here. So we are just one of the testament of local content, you know, by way of true less energy. I think we just have to thank that. So welcome to our digital Innovation Industry Forum. So it's an honor for me to have each and every one of you here present today. To all my colleagues, I want to say thank you for all that you do. It's both an honor for me to welcome each and every one of you to this forum today. You know, this forum is more than just a gathering of minds. It's a call to action, a call to rethink how we design, how we build, how we operate the assets that we have, you know, leveraging on technology. How do we leverage on technology to manage the assets that we have? How do we leverage on technology to build what we have, new technologies. What do we do? So that is why we are here to discuss. We have a lot of experience in-house. Our team from Aviva will dive into that. The main thing that is driving the industries worldwide is AI. So when I talk to my people, I will tell them, sometimes people get scared, right? To say, because of AI, jobs will be taken away from us. But I tell them, AI is not going to take away jobs from you. But what will happen is that if you don't leverage on AI, then jobs will be taken over from you. Before when computers started, people thought that with computers, jobs will be taken over. But everybody is busy with the computers today. So if you don't leverage on AI, then jobs will be taken over from you. So it is time for us to reposition ourselves and take advantage of all the opportunities that are present for us to do so. So at Alpha Bravo, innovation is the art of everything that we do. We believe that digital transformation is no longer a future ambition. It is a present-day imperative for us to all adapt and take out of it. So we are proud to partner with Aviva. They are the leading technology partners of choice all over the world. They are doing quite well. So we are glad to have them here, and they are going to take us through all the possibilities that do exist. So for Nigeria, digitalization offers a unique opportunity to leapfrog outdated systems. Most of our assets are, outdated. So to modernize infrastructure and unlock new levels of efficiency and economic growth. So we need digitalization. And that is where part of the service that we render, laser scanning, as part of what we render. This is the RTC 360 scanner. We are able to capture any data that you have, any asset that you have, and we are able to digitalize it. Because when you're talking of digitalization, you're talking of different Internet of Things, different things, digital twin and all the rest. So this gives us the platform to be able to capture, when the guys come in, the subject matter expert, they are going to delve into that and give us more insight to this. So as part of our commitment to this cause, Alpha Bravo has established a training center. During the facility tour, we'll take you guys upstairs to show you the training center. We want to be able to bridge the gap between academia and the real life place where you find, you go to school, you come back. We want to be able to train as many people as possible to see that when they are out of school, they have the right skill set to be able to adapt, to the working conditions and all the rest. So today, it's a time for us to all engage, share ideas, insight, because we have a lot of people who put the combined experience of the people in house. They will say we are over 400 years, of experience that we have in this house. So just feel calm, share any ideas that you have, questions, and I want to assure you that we have the right people with the right knowledge to be able to see us through. So in closing, I want to thank you for coming and honoring our invitation. We don't take this for granted. The weather is beautiful out there, but we want to say thank you for coming. Once again, welcome, and I wish you all a productive deliberation. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Innovator 001 of the day, the visionary, the man behind the people who get the work done. We are glad to share this video with you that tells us the Alpha Bravo story. Please enjoy.
In 2006, that was when Alpha Bravo was incorporated. But prior to 2006, the first company I incorporated was Tonasco Enterprise. That's what I started with. I started doing supplies, in Port Harcourt. I remember supplying safety boots and all the rest to iDrill and other companies in Port Harcourt. Then one day it just occurred to me in 2006, I wanted something that is global. I wanted something that is all-encompassing. So I now said, okay, if you are aware of the radio call signs and all the rest, you have Alpha, Bravo, Charlie, Delta, Echo, and all the rest. So, and I said, how can I create a company that is global? That was the old origin. So I now said Alpha Bravo International Services. services. We did a corporate search and that wasn't successful, so we now started another one. And the lawyer, Olori Egbe and Co., that incorporated it, came up with so integrated services. So that's how we formed the name Alpha Bravo Integrated Services, because it kind of resonates within the marine industry, in the oil and gas industry. It has to do with call signs, you know. So that is how we formed the company Alpha Bravo Integrated Services Limited in 2006. The funny thing is that, you know, at the time I started Alpha Bravo, I was still in paid employment, so I was working for an organization, okay? So I couldn't really dedicate all my time, you know, to the business. So I resigned. At the time I was with a different company, then I resigned in 2013, there where I came out fully to take my position in the industry, right? So at the time I was an employee somewhere, then I left paid employment and started Alpha Bravo in 2013.
What began with a single opportunity has grown into a trusted name. We were built on resilience, fueled by vision, and grounded in excellence. From marine services and procurement to high-level engineering and manpower, every detail matters. Every service is delivered with intention, accuracy, and pride.
In 2013, we started with our marine services or solutions, majorly in rig moves and then providing offshore vessels for charter. So we also did manpower supply and access services. However, as the years have progressed, we have come to include engineering design to our solutions. So we focus majorly now in engineering solutions, engineering design, feed, laser scanning, 3D modeling. So that is what we do now. Typically, I would either be on field doing laser scanning or handling like the processing or the 3D modeling part. So for example, if we had a fabrication assurance project going on, some people will be assigned to laser scanning, and then some would be working on the reports in order to prepare them, to do the processing, and then to do the laser scanning, the 3D modeling rather. In addition to this, we have top-notch equipment, the best in the industry at this time in Nigeria. We have the Leica RTC 360 and then Focus Premium. And because of the number of these equipment we have in our catalog, we have a total of 6. We're able to deploy 6 teams at any given time.
Yeah, Alpha Bravo Engineering Services stand out because we offer tailored-made engineering service to our clients, which enables us to provide quality and efficient deliverables by not cutting our clients out of business.
Additionally, I would just add that our team, we have just a range of expertise, and so for every engineering discipline, we have members of our team who can model, who can, just perform the services that we require. So we perform an end-to-end service in our projects.
In Alpha Bravo Integrated Service Limited, we try as much as we can to be consistent in exceeding our client expectation and continuous improvement in quality services that we render.
At Alpha Bravo, excellence isn't a word, it is a way of life. We call it the Alpha Bravo Cares Standard.
So we have this slogan at Alpha Bravo. It's our ABCs, Alpha Bravo Cares. So it's an acronym, the C for commitment to service, A for attention to quality, R for reputation, E for environmental sustainability, and S for safety. And so we prioritize these things in every project we're on and make sure we always deliver the best.
From laser scans on the USAN FPSO facility to launching our own training center built to help students and graduates bridge the gap between classroom theory and industry reality. Because the next generation doesn't just need opportunity, they need preparation and a place to begin.
Alpha Bravo has really helped to bridge the gap between classroom theory and real engineering practice. For example, as a process engineer, I am learning to read and interpret P&IDs. I can now read process flows. I can identify different equipment and instrumentations, and I am getting better understanding of how different systems operate and interact together. I am also learning and gaining hands-on experience on using Plant 3D for 3D modeling, and these skills altogether have given me better understanding of some of the knowledge gotten in the university.
Okay, what excites me most about the company growth is the fact that the company started from a little beginning of a small location in 2014 with about 75.9 square meter, and today they occupied almost 300, if not 400 something square meter, and that 75 point something square meter was rented. But to the glory of God, this location today was fully acquired and bought by Alpha Bravo Integrated Service Limited. So to me, it's a big achievement.
We are not there. We are evolving. So for me, build to evolve is that we must be able to, as an organization, adapt to different situations that we find ourselves. Like I said, we are dynamic, we are moving, so we started off doing marine, started doing manpower, procurement, and now we are in engineering and we are going into feed. So build to evolve simply means we must at every point in time continue to evolve, continue to adapt, to the needs of the people. After all, business is all about solving problems for people. So I want to look forward, always forward thinking. While I'm very grateful for all that we have done, evolved over the years, what I'm most proud of is the next job that we're expecting. Long-term vision for Alpha Bravo basically is we want to become an EPCM company on the long run. So we're going to be doing engineering, procurement, construction, and management services. That is the long-term goal of Alpha Bravo as an entity. So we have started and we keep on evolving. And if what, I like the phrase that TDJ said, if what you're doing is not what it is, it will take you to, it will lead you to what it is. So that is, I'm a true believer of that. This is what we know, and that is what we are doing. But we must put in our best, all the resources, financial, human, material, all resources, and we are going to put it in. We don't know what the end holds, but if what we are doing is not what it is, then it will lead us to what it is. But as an organization, our framework, what we look at ourselves becoming in the next 5 years is we become a full EPCM company. That is the focus and direction of this organization.
Alpha Bravo is more than a service provider. We are a story of vision, resilience, and continuous evolution. From the first hire to the next generation, we remain committed to excellence, purpose, and people.
To describe Alpha Bravo in one word, what will I say? Interesting.
Dynamic.
Quality.
Alpha Bravo is always moving ahead.
We are dynamic, we are evolving, and the whole thing is for us to be able to adapt. So if it is one word, I think I'll go with evolve. We are a company that is evolving. So the whole idea is for us to be able to meet the needs of our client. So once we meet them, then we are in business.
We are Alpha Bravo, built to evolve, powered by purpose, driven by excellence.
Alpha Bravo team, give it up even louder. This special clap is by members of the Alpha Bravo team. Come on now, let's clap, let's clap, let's clap, let's clap. Making ourselves proud. We've come thus far, not only by faith, but by very clear visioning and taking action, and we continue to evolve. You would notice that women are very well captured at Alpha Bravo because one of the Sustainable Development Goals says equity, right? Why? We need all sides of innovation. We've been at several global conferences where sometimes it's been told that a certain design to one of the tools was made better because a woman said, let's consider this, because she was coming from that angle. It was not about being a woman, it was about a different kind of perspective. Just because with my human anatomy degree, if I have two brains in my hand and I cut them open, I can see which one is male, which one is female. God made us to see things differently. So Alpha Bravo is not going to cheat ourselves of that other side of perspective. So it's always that we carry along men and women so that it is complete for the fulfillment of the set goals. I'm happy to hand over to one of our field engineers. You saw her in the video, now you see her live, and she'll take us through more about what we do here at Alpha Bravo and some of the cutting-edge technology. Please welcome Ife Kayode Edwards as she takes over.
Good morning, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. We're glad to welcome you to Alpha Bravo for this Digital Innovation Industry Forum. My name, as she mentioned earlier, is Ife Kayode Edwards, and with me for the presentation today, I have Engineer Lawal Ainde, and we're very glad to have you here with us today. Sorry, let me just get the clicker. So to guide us through the presentation for today for Alpha Bravo, this will be the outline. So about Alpha Bravo, we've watched the video, but just to give a summary, Alpha Bravo is an indigenous company that specializes in providing customized solutions to companies operating in the oil and gas, energy, and maritime industry. And we provide engineering design, we provide marine solutions, we provide technical manpower. However, for the focus of today, the presentation will be on laser scanning. So digital innovation in the oil and gas industry. What exactly is digital innovation? Digital innovation right now focuses on Industry 4.0, which can also be termed as the fourth industrial revolution. It focuses majorly on digital transformation, intelligent digital transformation. And as we go forward, I would give us an idea of what this would entail. But the focus of these innovations to drive cost savings, to reduce emissions, in line with the SDGs, by the way, to enhance operational resilience and align with the global energy transitioning goals. And so, in the oil and gas industry, we've been able to think of 8 significances of digital innovation, and this is the breakdown. So for AI, in AI and predictive analytics, digital twins, sustainability tech, blockchain and smart contracts, IoT and edge computing, drones and robotics, cybersecurity, and then 5G and connectivity. And so in all of these, focusing on these all contribute or an integration of all of these drive Industry 4.0. And for all of these, in terms of these rather, we fall majorly under the digital twins, which is providing a replica or a virtual replica of your assets. To be able to do a digital twin, you would need a 3D model, which is the base of the digital twin, before you include other things, using the IoT and edge computing to create that digital model. So laser scanning, which is our service here at Alpha Bravo, this quote says, digital innovation starts with accurate information. I'm sure we can all agree that even the slightest errors can lead to great damage, in the long run as it expands. So what exactly is laser scanning? Laser scanning is a technology that uses light laser beams. So basically, this is one of our scanners, the Leica RTC 360. So it emits these laser beams, and then the amount of time it takes for the laser beams to hit an object and travel back is what it uses to measure the distance, and then it's able to create a digital version of maybe an object or a facility or whatever it is that you're scanning. So it's not just data capture, it's digital infrastructure, because the information you get now it's literally just the digital version of whatever you have, and it enables Industry 4.0. The key features of these laser scanners There's integrated HDR imaging, which allows RGB coloring of the scans, high-speed data capture. So at every second, the laser scanner sends out or emits 2 million laser beams. That just gives you information on the kind of quality you'll be getting, very high quality. So automatic data registration. In previous versions of laser scanners or earlier versions, this was not possible. In this laser scanner, it's now possible, and so it cuts down time, turnover time for projects overall. The dual axis compensator for tilt and orientation, automatic. Milliliter level accuracy, as I mentioned earlier, the 2 million points per second just give very high quality, and so you have the accuracy to the milliliter level. There's a 360-degree field of view, and then it's non-contact and safe, and so it reduces general exposure of staff to dangerous or injurious situations. And it's portable and compact, as you can see. There's a backpack it can be carried in, maxing at maybe 10 kg, and so it's very portable. And then the data compatibility, when exporting data from it, it's based on client request. We're able to provide to our clients based on, it's very compatible in many forms. So the capabilities at Alpha Bravo Integrated Services, these are the major focuses for now with what we do with our laser scanning. However, we're looking to, as our MD says, evolve. And so with time, we will be able to do so much more. But to get more information on this, we have a QR code on the drop-down banner that you can scan to get a copy of the company profile and tell you more. So the process. From this point, I'll be handing over to my colleague, Engineer Lawal Ainde, who will be taking us through the rest of the presentation. Thank you all so very much.
Good morning once again. My name is Engineer Lawal Ainde. So I'll be taking us through the process of what is really meant by laser scanning. So, to start the process, we deployed our skilled technical manpower to the field using the RTC 360 and the Faro Focus Premium to capture the data, capturing 2 million points per second, placing the scanner in strategic locations in order to get the key attributes of the facility and the real-time registration with the associated software. So the next stage goes into the data registration. With our in-house scanners, we are able to know the state and the quality of the data that are being captured even before our personnel leave the site. So in other words, we are assuring high-quality data capture without double image, using multiple scan positions in unified point cloud, registration via cloud to cloud, and using the Resta 360 for accuracy and control. Then after the process, we come back to the office where the final processing is done in order to get it in a usable format as requested by the client. So this is done using the Aviva Point Cloud Manager for the data processing. So we can give you this data in various formats, such as the XYZ, the RCP, the PGS, the LFD format, based on the requirements of the client. Then after this process, we now move to the 3D modeling. Now, carrying out the 3D modeling, we have in-house personnel of multiple disciplines that comes together in order to have accurate model of your facility to the very tiny components of your facility due to the compactness and the robust density of the data that have been captured. So we are able to carry out an accurate 3D model of your facility and give you the intended deliverable according to your needs. So we have been able to summarize all this process into an acronym that we develop as points. P stands for the plan, where we strategize, scan, deploy our crew to the field, capture the data, then obtain high-quality data using the scanners, integrate these various points into a unified point cloud, normalize the scanner, and transform the data into a usable format. Then the equipment. My colleague mentioned earlier on that our scanners are top of the line in the country, and I can add to that and say even in the world. We have two of these variants in our catalog, the Leica RTC 360 and the Faro Focus Premium. Then what makes them stand out in the industry? For the RTC 360, like she mentioned earlier on, it is able to capture 2 million points per second and very dynamic. In other words, to be able to compensate real time while you are carrying out the operation, even with slightest move or tilt of your facility, meaning we can deploy it to a fixed facility and also to a floating facility without compromising on the quality of the data. So also we have the Faro Focus Premium. Basically it does the same thing, very compact, light, and very durable as well. So the benefits. We are talking about digital innovation to the oil and gas industry. So what is the benefit of this laser scanning to the oil and gas industry? Number one, we have the enhanced surveying and mapping. With accurate data, we'll be able to do that without compromising on quality and get the maximum information that you intended to. Improve project design and visualization. With this, from the comfort of your office, you'll be able to manage projects and make informed decisions while seated in your office without needing to go to site to make those decisions. Efficient as-built documentation, enhanced safety measures, streamlined maintenance and inspection, accurate dimensional control, and enhanced data integration and analysis. So project spotlight. At Alpha Bravo, we have been privileged to undergo some projects in collaboration with some of our industry partners. So let's just go through some of them. So for ESSO, as a contractor to Less Energy, our sister company, we have been able to execute projects such as the provision of full laser scanning on USAN FPSO facility, Era Vulnerable Piping Replacement Project, 3D laser scan of the USAN FPSO DGC installation, and the rest. So we also have the SEPNU, which is former MPN. We are able to carry out the ASABA and QIT Vulnerable Piping Replacement Project, the EAP IGE installation project, the provision of 3D laser scanning for NANG JB and NANG JD platforms, detailed laser scanning and drafting services for UBIT platform, and the provision of laser scanning for UBIT GX. So this is one of our international partner with collaboration with our sister company, Less Energy, as I mentioned earlier on. So we are able to carry out this particular activity on ERA FPSO using our laser scanner and deliver the project in record time. So why choose Alpha Bravo? So at Alpha Bravo, we pride ourselves as looking for the quality. By the time we provide top-notch quality, our clients come back for more and also make referrals. So by so doing, we have invested in human capacity, the top-end equipment, fast turnaround time, end-to-end service, and competitive pricing. At Alpha Bravo, we have this slogan that we don't quote our clients out of business. When our clients remain in business, we are also in business. And we have a multidisciplinary workforce comprising of highly experienced engineers, the intermediate, and the younger engineers. So by so doing, we are able to look at different ideas from different perspectives, from the industry-trained engineers and the fresh and graduates, bringing all these perspectives together and offer a tailor-made solutions to our clients. So call to action. If you need our services at Alpha Bravo, these are the various steps you need to take. For new clients, we schedule a capability presentation, which we call by the client's request, or we can even schedule a virtual presentation. Request a site visit, get a quote, and become a partner. And becoming a partner, we are just not looking at it in business-wise. We are looking at long-term friendship and relationship. So thank you very much for listening. Any questions on this?
Thank you so much. We can take a question or two. We have time for about 2 or 3 questions. So should you have one right now for a member of our team, we're glad to field it right now. There's one hand there. Do we have a second hand? So we know going once, going twice? Okay, let's get the microphone. Can we get the second microphone there very quickly? Yes, thank you.
Thank you. During your presentation, when you were giving us some features about your scanner and its ability to scan either fixed or floating assets, you did mention that it has ability to you can actually analyze data without going to the field to plug those data. So I want to confirm, does your scanner has the ability to transfer or transmit data remotely? Because now we are talking of Internet of Things in oil and gas assets. That is one. Then secondly, on the aspect of precisioning, you understand, or calibration, let me put it that way, because it's a very key features in oil and gas assets. I didn't hear you guys mention anything about precisioning and all those stuff, because I want to believe those assets needs great certification when it comes to precisioning and all those stuff. I want you to shine more light on that. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir, for the question. To answer your first question regarding the, let me start from the second. I think I lost thought of the first one. So regarding the precision, all our laser scanners are certified by the vendor, and to ensure being continue within the set precision and accuracy, it goes on a yearly basis for calibration. So all our laser scanners go out on a yearly basis for calibration directly to the vendor. Then we get it back before deploying to the client. So can you come with the first question again? Okay, thank you very much. So regarding the transmission of data, yeah, the laser scanners are actually equipped with a wireless transfer of data to associated software. So by so doing, if you get the software from the scanner directly, then from the system, you can actually transmit to wherever you want to transmit to for onward processing. So it has that capability.
Do we have more questions? Two more? Or one more? Yes, please. Yes. The mic is going to him.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you for the presentation, very well presented. Recently, we have situations where buildings have been built for a long time, and these buildings do not have their as-built documentation any longer, because when they want to do any modification, they struggle with it. You have spoken about this laser scanning succinctly with respect to oil and gas assets. What are the capabilities of these scanners with respect to buildings and other elements, whether you can go back and get the drawings, like the electrical drawings, the civil drawings, and all those stuff from the scanner, because that's a big opportunity for you.
So thank you very much, sir. In Nigeria, we are yet to explore that aspect. In fact, I would say we are underutilizing the function of the scanner presently in Nigeria. As I think we can all remember, there is a monument in France, if I'm not mistaken, is it the Basilica or something, that got burnt and was resuscitated. This was actually made possible because they have the data captured, ready, and were able to resuscitate that particular monument in record time. So we can actually deploy this to buildings in terms of BIM, in terms of national monuments, so as to have the digital information ready. In case of unforeseen casualty, you can always refer back to it and get back your monument.
Let me just add to that. Okay, Lawa, well spoken. Well, now, just to, Oga Richard, so part of what we are trying to do as an organization is we are partnering with the Ministry of Tourism. Okay, we are in discussions with them. We've spoken to a couple of people in Lagos as well. So how do we capture data, real time, just the way they are, just like what you said. So we are looking at museums, we are looking at the palaces of the Onirus and all the rest. So part of what we're trying to do is, not in the very near future, we'll be able to go around and capture data, so we'll be able to keep it in the cloud for them. So if anything goes wrong, then you'll be able to rebuild it, okay? So it's something that we are actively working on as an organization. So beyond oil and gas, that is another area that we are looking on, and discussions are ongoing behind the scenes. And by the grace of God, in just a very short time, we'll start to deploy that as well. Thank you.
Thank you. One more? All right, thank you. Please put your hands together for our presenters. Thank you. Thank you very much. It still takes a village, not only to grow a child, but to grow an organization, to fulfill a vision. It still takes a village, from the village headmaster to the town crier to the ones who do the job themselves. Therefore, part of our village are these villagers from South Africa who have their hands fully in industrial software. And today, they'll be speaking to us about some of their offerings and what they do with us at Alpha Bravo. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Aviva.
Thank you very much for taking your time to be part of this event. We appreciate you so much. Your time, the journey, and the commitment, and the interest, we are not taking it for granted. If I get you correctly, you call us villager.
All of us in here are villagers.
I was born in a city called Trento in Italy, so I think I'm a wise man. Yeah, Trento. Oh, okay, cool. Okay, cool. Okay, cool. Cool, I take to that. Of course, yes. Okay, then. Thank you very much for that point of correction. I thought I was not a villager, but I've been made known that I'm a typical village man. So which language would you permit me to speak now for the presentation? Igbo, Yoruba, or AI? AI. Oh, cool. Thank you very much. So we are Aviva. We have our team right here. We are happy to be part of you. So let me give you a brief introduction about Aviva. Aviva is a global company located in the global village. And the good thing about Aviva is this: it's a global leader in industrial software. Sometimes we have stopped preaching about what we do. So what we are asking now is that, what is your pain point? What is your challenges? Because we have more than 170 solutions to address whichever challenge you have. And we've discovered that we've not met any guy that we've not been able to resolve the challenges they have. So at the end of our presentation, we would like to know what's your challenges, and we are able to pull out a solution that can support you. So in conjunction with Alpha Bravo, we have a very strong, formidable relationship with the man here, the global man, the village man, sorry. I wanted to say global man. The village man, and our relationship is so cordial and strong to the extent that he has his root in our office in South Africa. Now, let me tell you the way Aviva operates this business. Aviva they have a well-talented village people who are there developing the software, but how do they issue it out? They don't go straight into the market. They have allocated the market to individuals to play their role. Now, what do? We are Aviva. And for the past 30 years now, we've been managing Southern Africa, the Malawi, the South Africa, and all the rest. So my team here came all the way from South Africa, and they've been managing these activities in South Africa for years. We also manage East Africa. So we have Aviva Southern Africa, we have Aviva Eastern Africa, and we have Aviva Western Africa. So we have our team locally here in Nigeria. We manage the Western Africa, West African countries in Africa. So we've been in this business for more than 30 years. And we are doing well, and we are happy to be partner to Alpha Bravo. So sit tight, enjoy the presentation, and if you have any challenge, consider it done. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Shafe. I think you just covered my first half of my presentation, but all good and well. Thank you very much, Alpha Bravo, for allowing us to attend this event. I think it's critical to the Nigerian economy. And I mean, we call it farmers, but professional term is building a connected industrial ecosystem. And that's what we're trying to do in the West Africa region and the East Africa region. So my name is Nilayan Bamal. I head up the business for Aviva Select West Africa and Aviva Select East Africa. And I've got my team here today as well. So I think Dirisu Shafe is a household name, right, in Nigeria. He heads up our West African business together with Lillian, who sits on that end. And I've also got Wade Peters as well here in the room. So feel free to chat to him as well. But he's our partner manager. And his primary role is obviously building that competency within our ecosystem so we can deliver locally to our customers and add value, ultimately. Okay. So if we look at the presentation very quickly, and there's a wide history here in terms of what happened from an Aviva perspective, you'll see we started all the way in 1970, where we've deployed engineering solutions. But a lot has happened. The world is changing. I think post-COVID, there's a lot more adaptability in industry, a lot more adaptability in our ecosystem to be able to deliver value to our customers at the end of the day. So within the last 2 or 3 years, you'll see there's quite a few things that's happened from an Aviva perspective and a Schneider Electric perspective as well, and then also an OSI soft perspective. So if you're familiar with our enterprise database storage system, which is OSI Pi, Aviva actually did a buyout of this product set, which was our competitor in the market. Almost 2 years ago, we were fighting against them. And what we did was we ate their lunch and bought them and brought them into our stable. Okay, so it now forms part of the Aviva portfolio set. And now we can offer a full end-to-end value proposition to any customer to bring in enterprise data management, data storage, data sharing, etc. Okay. So in the end, we have 2 entities, which is Aviva and Schneider Electric. And these 2 entities operate in 2 separate ways. So Aviva is the purple machine in terms of the software, which is the end-to-end portfolio. And Schneider Electric is the green machine, which is more around instrumentation, PLCs, any hardware-related things that you might have, building management systems, etc. So we work tightly together in terms of offering our customers an end-to-end portfolio perspective. But ultimately, Aviva sits as its own entity, and Schneider Electric sits as its own entity. So Aviva has these distribution chips all around the world, and Aviva Select West Africa, East Africa, Southern Africa is the distribution model that we have in the Africa space. So we are delivering locally in the Africa market, the licensing, and obviously our mothership is sitting in the UK as an OEM. So see us as a Microsoft distributor in the region where all licenses are procured through our business. Okay. So just history here in terms of Aviva and where we play. We play basically in all verticals in the industry, and this has been happening for the last 30 years or so. But chemicals, very strong, marine, power, utilities. In the South African context, we have our solutions deployed in the power industries there, and we own probably about 75% of the market share in terms of our deployed solutions in that space. Okay. So food and beverage also very strong. Mining and metals is our big economy in the South African context and East Africa context, and then oil and gas obviously in the West African context. So if we look at the R&D centers that we have around the world, there's quite a bit. There's about 10 plus, which means that we're continually investing in our portfolio of products. We have over 22 project centers, 2,000 plus employees in the R&D side of things. But importantly, I think the fact that we have local support in the West Africa space, in the Southern Africa space is true testament in terms of our subject matter expertise that we can host locally in the region. Okay. The last thing we need is phoning someone overseas who doesn't understand your language or the culture that we have here and the importance of running a plant ultimately. So in the Africa context, Shafi's covered this pretty nicely, but you'll see here in the bottom blue region, we have been playing in this region for the last 30 years. We were rebranded but we were called Wonderway Southern Africa previously. And when the buyout happened, we reinvented ourselves into the Select branding. So we now call Aviva Select Southern Africa. Now, why this is important is the fact that it has been 30 years. We have built a lot of relationships with customers in different industries, and we have numerous success stories using the Aviva technology in that space. So we should be able to use that. So again, in the West Africa market, if there's an opportunity on an Aviva solution, we could refer you to a customer who's already done it before. So there's no guinea pig scenario that we talk about. No one's used the software, and you the first. We have a whole list of customer success stories that we could share with you guys. So in the purple region is the new region that we've taken over more proactively. We've now got a legal entity in the West Africa market. We've been here for the last 3 years officially. And similarly, in the East Africa region, over the last 3 years, we've now officially got a legal entity in that space. Okay. So we have been doing business through the Southern Africa business over the last 30 years. But again, it was not proactive, it was reactive. So when we have an opportunity, customers phone us, we would support them, sell the licenses through that entity. But we needed more than that. We needed local presence in the space. We needed local resourcing. And this is growing as well as we evolve the business going forward. So importantly, Tombara mentioned the word evolve. We're also doing that as well in this area. Okay. So local presence, Dirisu sits in Abuja and Lillian sits in Lagos. And obviously we're growing legs into Port Harcourt and Ghana very soon as well, where we'll have 2 more representatives in here. But ultimately, we want to be able to grow the industry through our partners like Alpha Bravo, to be able to support you locally, do your projects delivery, etc. So as Aviva, we don't do any project deliveries. Okay, we sell the value adds, we deliver the subject matter expertise, the training, and then part of Wade's portfolio is to make sure that the competency is driven through our ecosystem. So likes of Alpha Bravo, where they can deliver local content to engineers on the field, etc., and deliver the projects itself. So that's been a working model that we've had. It works pretty well. We will never ever take on any project. First of all, we don't have the know-how, expertise, etc., to deliver a project. It requires lots of investment. So our aim is to make sure that we deliver the value from an Aviva perspective. Okay. So driving competency with our customers is key. Driving competency within our customer base is also key because we deliver that first-hand training as well. But competency within our space as well is also key to make sure that we are, telling you that this is how a piece of software should be working. These are the best practices that it should be implemented in. And these are some of the things we push towards the Alpha Bravo team. And it's part of our ecosystem program to make sure that they always are certified on the latest versions. They've got the support that they need to deliver projects successfully, etc. Okay, so from a Africa perspective, in terms of the industry that we play in the West Africa region, you'll see power utilities, chemicals, mining, consumer products, even water and wastewater is a big vertical for us in terms of delivering value. Now, from an Aviva perspective, this is a zoomed out view. As Shafe mentioned, there's quite a few products that sits inside here if we zoom in, plus minus 170 odd product sets, which is end to end. But in essence, what we cover here is the full operations lifecycle, as well as the engineering lifecycle of any project. Okay, so from the ground up, whether it's greenfields or brownfields, all the way to operations, and then optimizing that operation so that you get maximum throughput or profits or whatever you're gaining to look at in terms of your organization. And very importantly, in the center is a glue that fits together in between the operations and the engineering space. So bringing the engineering information to the operations is absolutely critical in terms of making informed decisions in driving production, etc. So the PI system sits in the center, where we're able to collect all that information from an operations, from an engineering space, from your laser scans, etc. How do we make context of that information, which is critical? Okay. All right, so from an operational technology landscape, we use the word OT quite often. It stands for operational technology, and you'll usually hear the term OT-IT, which is your IT infrastructure convergence into the OT structure, okay, so and how that actually works. So when we look at this, we cover the full portfolio from an Aviva perspective, all the way from the ground up, right the way to the boardroom. So we call it the sensor to the boardroom, where we're able to connect to any instrument on the bottom layer and bring that information to decision makers on the top layer, which is typically your CEOs, sustainability manager, or maybe a digital officer for that matter. And the idea is to remove the silos, right? To make sure that every team member within your organization flies information. And they're able to see the context and drive the value for that business. So ultimately, everyone needs to see profitability. They need to see uptime in their performance. Make sure their assets are actually sweating and not having breakdowns. So we are able to assist in all of these different spaces. So this just gives you an idea of what we talk about when we talk about level 0 all the way to level 4. So typically level 0 would be your instrumentation side of things. And level 1 and level 2 is where we now start to bring visualization to that information. And we are able to control it. Okay? So we give the operators on the plant floor ability to be able to view what's happening in his process, pick up any alarms for that matter, react to those things, and operate his plant. But meanwhile, on level 3 and level 4, the guys on the top level don't actually care what's happening in the process, right? They want to see 100% manufacturing happening. They want to see zero downtime. They want to see profitability. And we give them that information based on what's being logged in real time. Okay, so in forms of dashboards, it could be on his cell phone, it could be a daily report, whatever the case may be. And this enables him to now share that information to other stakeholders in that space. Okay, and we'll deep dive into some of this just now, very quickly into a technical presentation. But the important thing is, where do we support the oil and gas value chain? I think there's a lot of pressure that's happening in the midstream space. There's a lot of pressure happening in the downstream space in terms of sustainability, ESGs, emissions, etc. And Aviva actually plays in all 3 pillars in terms of an oil and gas economy. Okay. So if we look at the Aviva portfolio journey, and this is where it starts to get a bit more exciting in terms of what we are able to offer. Okay, so when we talk about that 172 product sets that we have, we've jotted it down here in terms of different blocks, and you'll see it starts off on the automation layer, all the way to the convergence of OT, IT, and ET. Okay. Now, ET is a new concept. We've heard of OT and IT. ET is your engineering technology. So how do we bring that information as well into the space, like Alpha Bravo is doing the E3 designs, etc. How do we bring that into a central place where the guy can actually see in a 3D model where it's located, the asset information, and maybe a report or spec sheet on that specific asset. Okay, and that's where we are able to add value to customers. So if I break this down very quickly, where we see quick value for the oil and gas industry, very quickly, right, is obviously on the production operation side where we can add value very instantaneously. Once we start to bring in that visualization, we can start to see where we have gaps in that space. Maintenance integrity is always something in any vertical. It's critical to making sure that your assets are running 110%. Okay. In the health and safety environment, this is becoming now also a thing where safety is big importance in the oil and gas space, in the mining space, in food and beverage space. How do we bring that together into one centralized view so that we all understand the repercussions of switching on a pump or switching on a conveyor, etc. Asset and facility management is also critical. I think more and more people are now on this bandwagon of making sure that assets don't fail. How do we predict before they actually do? And this is a space as well we can add certainly value in terms of bringing that information to the fore. And then remote monitoring, reporting, analytics. I think data is key to making decisions. I think when we spoke about industry 2.0 and 3.0, it was about let's get the data here. Okay. Now when we talk about industry 4.0, it's like we have the data, what do we do with it? Okay. So how do we bring context that information for that information that we're collecting in context so that we can drive the proper decisions in your organization? So what I've done here is just built a little journey in terms of a typical path a customer would take. Okay? And the first part is around the operations control side. Okay? So you need to be able to operate, you need to be able to control before you can actually go into the top levels. So when we look at this, there are different methods that you could do it, and you'll see I've labeled it there from 1 to 5. And we can dive into each of these. So in the operations control perspective, there's quite a few solutions that we have built for different types of users. So whether you're a customer that's looking to get maybe one sensor visualized or reported on, that will sit on the bottom spectrum here, okay? Or you're a customer that wants to build a full-blown control room, for example, and bring multiple sites into one space, that would sit more on the right-hand side, okay? Now, through the acquisitions of Aviva and Schneider Electric, we've acquired a lot of SCADA systems in this space. So you'll see Aviva Plant SCADA, or previously called SciTech, is one of our portfolios that exist within Aviva as well. So there's a range of opportunities in terms of what you're looking for. But ultimately, all of these solutions deliver the same value, which is the supervisory control, data acquisition, alarming, reporting, all sorts of things. But it depends how you want to scale your system and what's your vision in terms of bringing all this information into one space. Because some customers might just want to, play in the first two because they just want to operate, control their process, etc. But a larger organization might want to bring in multiple organizations into one and understand where the bottlenecks are and how we can derive value from that perspective. And we'll get to that. Okay. So these are, if you don't know what a SCADA system is, just some of the graphics we talk about that are available within these packages. So a lot of things are centered around the bottom right, which is situational awareness. I know when I was an engineer 30 years ago, it was a case of let's light up everything on the SCADA system. Then we know it's working. Okay. But that doesn't drive operational efficiency. Because if an operator sits there with 1,000 alarms flashing at him, what does he actually look at? And that's where we drive the operational efficiency in the bottom right. Say, let's make everything grayscale. Okay. Only if there's an issue, highlight it in red, as you'll see in there. So it points you to that direction. So the huge challenge we have in Southern Africa market, and I'm sure it's the same in West, is resourcing in the engineering space. So the system should be able to bring in a new engineer and without training be able to navigate and control the process in that specific plant because the system guides him to what to do next. Okay. So looking at the operations information side of things, this is another space that we work on more on the pie side of things. Safety. Oh, there's a hidden. Cool. So what we typically have in any plant is multiple systems, right? And again, from an Aviva perspective, we're not saying rip and replace what you already have. But typically what we have is what we call spaghetti of information, because you have information coming from different databases, you have different LIMS systems, monitoring quality. How do we take all of those informations from the different places? Could be Excel sheets as well, we've seen that a lot in customers. How do we take all of these different types of information and bring it into a central place, which is our Aviva Pi system? And here we're able to collect, store, enrich, visualize, and then consume it on the right-hand side to the relevant stakeholders. So this could be your engineers, could be your CIO, whoever it is on the right-hand side. So making it easy. Now again, the important thing here is data in context. Okay, so how does one value refer to the other? And what is the information that we're looking for? So within the Pi system, we have all sorts of dashboarding capabilities that is flexible. It's a drag and drop environment where you can basically go and create your own dashboards very quickly and easily. Okay. So just like Google and Facebook, I think no one here has been on training, right, for Google or Facebook. Very similarly in this space here, when we give you a system, it should be self-intuitive. You should be able to just type in TEMP because that's what I want, like Google, and it should give you all the information that you need on that specific temperature. Okay. And typically in a plant environment, the engineers would know, TT01 is located here because he knows the plant and instrumentation backwards and forwards. Okay. But again, that's the sort of user interface we want to be able to establish to make it easier for people to get to that information. Okay, so as we move along into this journey, the next one is asset performance, which is a portfolio that is hot topic at the moment in many industries in terms of how we can predict when we have failures. Now, when we talk about the asset performance side of things, it is a journey. Just remember that. And the first step is, most customers we still see are very reactive to maintenance, which means they run to failure. Okay, and we understand that because there's production requirements, there's production throughput that needs to happen. That guy's going to run this compressor until it breaks, just so he can meet his KPIs. Okay, and in the Southern Africa market, we see this a lot. I mean, our electricity supply commission, who provides us electricity, did exactly that. Okay, run the units until they fail, because we need to provide electricity to our consumers. Okay, but when we talk about the asset journey, where you want to be able to get to is obviously preventive, and this is basically on a schedule. So you even, you could have a planned schedule where you say every 3 months you do maintenance on certain piece of equipment, etc. But there's a flaw on that as well, because sometimes you're maintaining assets which don't need maintenance, okay? Because they still have at least another 6 months to be able to run with no issues. So why bring it down, okay? So condition-based is ultimately where you want to get to, because here is where you start to now collect information. You can now build rules around that information that you have. And this is where we talk about rules-based logic, where we can start to analyze that information a lot better and then make more informed decisions on the schedule that we build in terms of preventative maintenance. Okay. Predictive, very importantly, I think ultimately is where you want to get to, because no one wants to move a mouse or a keyboard. The system should be able to tell me, you're going to have an issue in 3 months' time if you don't look at maintenance on this piece of equipment, because it's starting to behave abnormally. Okay, I wish I had that on my wife. In 3 months in advance, I will know there's issues coming. Okay, so this is based on, can't get away from it, right? But it's based on advanced pattern recognition. It's based on predictive failures. It's based on machine learning. So we build and train models for different types of equipment. Okay. So normally this is applied to your rotating equipment in a plant, where we can add all of these different models to it. Okay. The last one is risk-centered, and here is where now you can bring all of these different scenarios into one basket. So in a car example, if you get a warning light on your car, it should actually already inform your service provider where you bought it from. I've got a warning light, and this is the issue. They should be able to go to maintenance and say, do we have stock of this certain part? And the schedule manager then phones you and says, okay, you can now book in your car. We have parts available. Okay. So risk-centered is more around filling or closing the entire loop of your predictive analytics. And again, it is a journey. Okay. So most people find themselves here because maintenance is done very manually at this point in time, where the guy or operator, engineer goes to a specific piece of equipment physically, he inspects it, and he says, oh, there's an oil leak. And from there, he fills in a job card, which is manual, in a little clipboard. He takes that to his maintenance guy to say, please create a order. That guy goes to SAP, and then creates a work order, and then orders parts, etc. So how do we, in this level here, automate some of that? Okay, where he can go with his cell phone, for example, and we have a workflow built in to say, tell me what the issue is. And that is automatically sent into SAP, creates a work order, and then the job card is all done. So we cover some of that in our predictive or maintenance model, and we have solutions that can basically help you to digitize some of that in your plant. Okay. So this is an example where we talk about predictive analytics, and it's a web browser, as you can see. It's our advanced predictive analytics tool. And what we're showcasing here is that same compressor, where we are monitoring over the last 3 or 6 months the behavior of this asset. And we can actually do this if you have the data already, historically. You can send us the data, we can analyze it, and we can tell you when you actually had a failure on your pump. We've done that for customers before. Okay. But what you can see here in the green is where we've actually picked up an issue on that specific compressor. And the little red dot on the right-hand side is where an operator would have picked it up if he didn't have the system. So in terms of timelines, we're talking easily weeks or months where the system would have told you that you are behaving badly and you're going to have a failure. But what we can also do is drill down into different signal contributions. Okay, so which of these different signals here are contributing towards that failure? So is it a bearing? Okay, is it overheating, etc.? And then we can go one down as well into fault diagnostics, which is what we're showcasing here. You know, what are the typical resolutions based on historic maintenance orders that we are able to say, okay, this is actually the issue and this is what we need to fix. So again, driving the operator to the problem or solution a lot quicker rather than running around finding an expert in the space. All right, from a data sharing perspective, and this is where the OT and IT conversion sort of comes in, okay? Sharing data from the OT layer into an IT layer has been a sore topic for years, okay? Because the OT guys are very closed in the box in terms of not sharing that information out. So how do we integrate these both worlds into one? So in the data sharing side of things, we have something called Connect. I don't have a demo for it, but I'll speak to it, where you can easily share information in a cloud environment, okay? That data is accessed by anyone if you simply just give him the URL. And more importantly, in that little browser that accesses the cloud data, you are able to navigate your own dashboarding capabilities in there with drag and drop. Okay. So it makes it simple, it makes it easy. Also from a visualization perspective, we have the libraries that's available where you can simply go and drag and drop that information as well. Okay. So from the previous one, when we talk about the value optimization side of things, this is one example where Abu Dhabi National Oil Company saw value in one of our tools called value chain optimization. Okay. So with a single run, they were able to save millions per barrel in that environment where they could run the tool offline and see what the performance would be on the other side. Okay, and we'll get to an example of this as well as to, which is the wow factor, in what you are able to achieve using the Aviva solution set. Okay, okay, so that's supply chain. So how do we bring all of those different tools together? So as you've seen, we've got different Lego blocks within the Aviva space, okay? But each of it has its own advantages, disadvantages. How do you bring that context to all that information into a single space? And this is where the concept of a UOC is born, okay? Unified Operations Center. Okay. So what this enables you to do is bring all your information in context in one view, okay? It can be 3 monitors. It could be a whole panoramic wall. It depends, you know, how you want to go about it and how big your site is, whether you want multi-sites, etc. But what this enables you to do is give you information in context. So again, driving the operator to the problem. So if he clicks on a certain pump, a conveyor, a turbine, whatever it is, he can also see the relevant information in context to that asset. The 3D model, maybe a PNID diagram, instrument diagram, where it's sitting in the process, and maybe even a spec sheet, so he knows who to contact as well. Okay. So I want to give you an example of this. I'm not going to go into the demo, we're running out of time. So I'll go into the customer success story rather, when we get to it. So if we look at these examples, these are just some of the customer success stories that we've had, right? So 75% of daily oil and gas throughput is facilitated by Aviva solutions. Okay. And we have those success stories in terms of DCP midstream. ADNOC is a very important one, MOL, and also Petronas, who's used Aviva solutions in their space. And we've also got success stories within the Southern Africa space as well around unified operations. We've done one massive project 2 years ago for ASMANG, where they built an entire panoramic wall as well that brings data in context, not only from a process perspective, but also, you know, your financial, your health and safety, etc. These guys all sit in one room, and they're able to make decisions accordingly. So here's an example of the ADNOC one. There is sound on this, hopefully it plays. I'll take you through that. There we go.
Dhabi National Oil Company is the state-owned oil company of Abu Dhabi and the principal catalyst for the Emirates development. With 14 integrated organizations operating across the hydrocarbon value chain, energy producers. ADNOC is maximizing value from reserves and operations, and helping to drive its digital transformation is Aviva.
Between Aviva and ADNOC, it's a very special relationship. It's one that's based on a belief of this digitalization of the industry.
Aviva has been a trusted partner of ADNOC for many, many years. It's not abnormal to see them partnering with us in the digital transformation.
No stranger to global market volatility, oil and gas producers are using industrial IoT, big data, advanced visualization, and artificial intelligence to integrate and maximize return across asset and operation value chains.
If we want to have and ensure digital transformation, there are some crucial preliminary steps that we have to go through, and that is to allocate, centralize, and integrate all our data on one single platform.
And that's where Aviva comes in. We have the tools, best practices, we have the people, we have the know-how, we have deep research and development.
Fulfilling its vision of oil and gas 4.0, ADNOC and Aviva co-developed the Panorama Digital Command Center, a fully integrated, real-time data visualization center that empowers ADNOC's sharpest minds to gain insights, unlock efficiencies, and identify new pathways to optimizing performance. A key element of ADNOC's Panorama is the value chain optimization powered by Aviva's Spiral Supply Chain Management solution.
One run on these scenarios, we can save $60 to $100 million in optimization easily.
ADNOC is incorporating predictive maintenance to empower its team to reduce unscheduled downtime and prevent costly equipment failures.
ADNOC has more than 10 million tags or 10 million sensors around in our facilities that we can bring. One of the things that will increase the number of tags is the predictive maintenance platform that we have. That's also using the Aviva Prism.
And the ADNOC team continues to be a reliable provider of energy to the world. With Aviva as its partner, they can imagine and realize a more efficient, integrated, and empowered future than the industry has ever known.
Yeah, so it looks like something out of Star Trek, right? And every time we show this, we're like, wow, this should be quite expensive, but it doesn't need to be this extravagant. What we need is to understand what are the key KPIs from your organization that you want to bring to the fore. And again, it could be on one single monitor that you can see this information very quickly and easily. Okay, so this is just one example where it's a wow factor of what we can actually do. But we've got many other examples as well, again, within the Southern Africa market, where we've done it on a smaller scale, where we've added that value to customers, showcasing the Aviva solutions. So in that example, they've used the unified supply chain tool and also the advanced predictive analytics. But there's a phase 2 as well that's, adding on to more of the Aviva solutions from that perspective. So again, Aviva is a Lego block. You don't have to utilize all of the solutions to see that value. It is a journey or roadmap that we can build, for you specifically in terms of where you are currently and where you are on this digitization curve in your organization, and how do we get you there. I think that's critical. So we can build onto those Lego blocks very easily. And I think the key thing from an Aviva perspective is that we are agnostic, which means that we can connect to different devices, we can connect to competitive products. We've done it before in the Siemens and the Rockwells. Schneider Electric is now a household brand, but before it wasn't. And we are able to connect to these different devices. Okay. So we're available for questions. That's, in a nutshell, our portfolio and what we're able to do in this space together with Alpha Bravo. I think they are our delivery service provider. And we can, on top of that, add the expertise from an Aviva perspective. Yeah, open for questions. Thank you.
We have one hand at the back. Do we have a second, please? Two? Yes, please. Do we have a third? 3, 4, 5. Let's take this first 5. Please.
Lucky I'm here for 10 nights, eh?
Okay, thank you very much. You have brought us back to the village factor again, and we are happy to be a villager. So, yeah, to be honest with you, our install base in Nigeria, like I said earlier, we cover West African countries. But let's narrow down this discussion to Nigeria where we are. Our install base is massive, very, very massive. I'll pick some. In short, Coca-Cola, we have our software there. Nigerian breweries, we have our software there. Like I was discussing with you, we have our software in LNG, and LNG has bought a consignment that will last them for the next 10 years. So what we do now, we are migrating from perpetual to flex. So what is flex? Flex is a basket that you purchase. So whatever you want in that basket, it is available. For example, you buy a flex, and now you are asking for predictive analytics, that's asset performance management. You want to place a predictive analytics on your critical equipment, you can get it there. Okay, for example, you've decided, say, okay, I want to go into engineering, I want some credit for my designing. It's also available in that basket. So you want to talk about Pi. Okay, secondly, let me tell you that Hess Energy, they are also our customers. Chevron, they are our customers. The former Shell, that's Renaissance, are also our customers. So they name them. Name them. And one good thing about Aviva is this. For example, we have a dormant list, we have a live list. So what is dormant list? There are customers who have acquired our licenses, but they've not been able to renew it. And Aviva has designed the licenses that even if you fail to renew, it is still functioning in your system. It is only one or two items that will no longer operate, but we don't want to cripple your manufacturing line. We don't want to bring you to downtime, but we want to support. That's why even when you have failed to renew, it is still running. So we can also win them back, which is a process which we undergo. So most of Aviva is a household name. And we are happy to have an ecosystem that is very solid. And Alpha Bravo is one of our ecosystem promoting us. And that's why we are here today. Okay, he will put a top to it. But one fantastic message we have not told you here is that Aviva software is agnostic. So what do I mean? Whatever you have on ground. And secondly, we are strictly into software. We don't do any hardware. So how do I mean? Whatever you have on ground, Aviva is able to work with it. You have ABB hardware, you have Siemens hardware, you have Schneider hardware. Our software is agnostic and is able to work with it. So let me drive down to the question you have raised. For example, if you have a system, you are asking us if we can work with it. First and foremost, we ask you some questions regarding your current system. Are you able to pick your data? What do you have on ground? From there, we can advise you on the way forward. But let me allow Nilen to speak on top of it.
Yeah, I think very importantly is understanding the lay of the land. Okay, and what we do as Aviva Select West Africa, I'm going to say this softly, we offer a free service called Evaluation and Roadmap, which means that we can come out to you, understand what you have installed, whether it's competitive products or our products, and give you a roadmap in terms of, okay, we need this first to be upgraded to a certain version before we can actually talk anything else or anything further. But it's understanding, from that roadmap and evaluation, where your risks are sitting at the moment, what we need to do to get there, and how do we get there, and how do we assist you. And that's where we'll pull in our ecosystem in terms of delivering the value, but we can offer that service as well to our customers. We've done it already for about 3 customers in West Africa market, where we've done evaluation and roadmaps. Okay. So from a connectivity perspective, offshore, I mean, most of our engineering software is cloud-based, so you could actually do it in any case. And if you've got connectivity, you know, we've got all the communication packs in terms of being able to connect to those devices as well. Yeah. Cool. Hopefully it answers your question.
One more question, sir. So you also said something about you'll be able to see the 3D models, the PNIDs.
Yes.
So do I need to put all those ones into the system first before I'm able to use your system?
No. So a lot of these solutions can be used in isolation. So you could buy a Pi system, collect data, for example, as first phase of your project. Or what Alpha Bravo does very nicely is they roll out E3D laser scanning for customers that have there. But we can build on top of that. So if you want to see all of that information coming together, we could build it as a roadmap action item, you know, in the future, because they're totally integratable, interoperable, etc.
I just want to ask about I know it's more or less a predictive software, right? Is it okay to, to term it a predictive software in terms of failures?
Sorry, I didn't get that.
Can you classify it as a predictive maintenance software?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, and I have not finished.
That's what
I've not
he's looking
finished.
for, right?
Yeah. Okay. I've not finished. So, if it's a predictive software, from the time it is flagged to the time when it occurs, what is the time? What is the lag time?
Okay. So very importantly, what we don't predict is failures, right? What we predict is abnormalities in the behavior. So we build a model to that piece of equipment who starts to understand how this thing is behaving, personality, you know, all the pressures put on it, etc. How is this thing operating? So when we start to build that model and add the model on top of that asset, we are able to then identify when it's quickly deviating out of its normal condition. Okay, and if I take Ran Water, which is one of our water utilities in Southern Africa, we took their database and we were able to predict up to 3 months in advance that they were going to have an issue on one of their pump sets. So it's could vary. You know, sometimes it's a slow issue that we might not pick up, but if it's something that's very apparent, we could pick it up very early in that state. So between 3 to 6 months is the range that we're talking about.
Yeah, the other thing is that I noticed that you mentioned some of these oil companies that where it's applicable because of the cost in terms of downtime.
Yes.
And I know it's highly applicable, you know, that's why probably they have to buy into that software. Are you involved in aerodynamics, aircraft?
Not in Southern Africa, but there is a lot of success stories in the US specifically. But in our local airlines, we do the basics in terms of monitoring, but not predictive analytics.
Okay, thanks. My questions actually centers on backward integration. For instance, if you look at Nigerian markets, I want to speak specifically on utility industry, power utility industry. For some time now, most of our utility companies, especially in the distribution value-added chain supply systems, they've been finding it difficult to set up a SCADA system in that kind of industry because most often the technology, your software or any other software, it could be Rockwell or any other, or maybe Honeywell, for instance. Most of those assets in these industries are legacy equipment. And oftentimes you find it difficult to integrate some of these assets into applications like Aveva and the like. So I want to ask, your applications, how supportive is your application to legacy equipment? You understand, talking about backward integration now, and how seamless it is, because oftentimes customers are always scared to go through this journey when you talk to them that they need to replace one or two hardwares that have been running for years and no issues around it. So I want you to speak more on that. Thank you.
100%. So simple answer is 99 out of 100 times we are able to connect to any device, even if it's an old device. So within the Aviva stable of products, we do have drivers for different types of piece of equipment, PLC, instrumentation, whatever the case may be. But what we also have is a partnership with a company called Software Toolbox, which is also part of the Aviva stable, who specifically just develop drivers. So they integrate with different types of instrumentation, and you've seen all sorts of things from it, right? So if we can speak the basic protocol to any device, OPC, SweetLink, whatever, TCP, we can actually communicate to that device. So I think it'll be a case of let's understand what device it is, whether we have the driver, and we could tell you off the bat, listen, this is something we can, maybe we need an intermediate to convert it. Something like RS-232, for example, doesn't exist anymore. So where do you get it? So if it's that old, definitely not. But anything else, I think 99 out of 100 times you would be able to get that connectivity done and bring it in. Cool. Okay. Sure. Make notes.
Yeah, my question is also very, very simple, and I'm sure you can answer it. In software modules, the result you get out of it is it's a garbage in, garbage out.
Yeah.
I need you to clarify how your system works. When you talk about predictive, my expectation is that it is what is input manually that enable your system to give us that prediction of what is going to happen. But is that how it works? Or it's automatic? You don't need any manual input for those data for you to be able to for your system to predict what is going to happen.
So good question. I think from a Aviva perspective, and specifically in the predictive asset module perspective, we have already trained models that are built already, which speaks to compressors, speaks to turbines, speaks to all of these different types of equipment, which is already tweaked. Okay, so that means we've done what we need to from a modeling perspective. It's a case of implementing it. And there is a teething phase or learning phase, when we implement such a solution, because there is a monitoring that we do in the first 3 months to see that we actually have learned the values correctly in this model. Okay, and then once we are happy with that, then we start implementing it and say, right, this model actually works 100%. So if it deviates between these levels, then we know we actually have an issue. Or maybe, you might have these erratic fluctuations in it. That's part of the model building exercise that we do and teething exercise we do for the first 3 months when we build any model. But those models are already built. We have them already. ESCOM, for example, our power utility uses predictive analytics, and we're using the models that are off the shelf from a Aviva perspective, implemented it in their site, but based on their environment and how they operate it, we had to tweak a few things. So we don't start from scratch, ultimately.
Yeah, okay. Thank you very much for this presentation. Quite enlightening. Could you please share with us the extent to which Aviva tools are AI enabled? I saw evidence of that in data management when it comes to analytics. But can you, for instance, are they enabled such that you can quickly generate construction documents, construction drawings, just from point clouds coming from laser scanning?
Excellent question. So that's where the world is moving currently, right? And there's a lot of investment from an Aviva perspective, specifically on AI. And unfortunately, the demo didn't show up in the PowerPoint, but I had one developed. But it was more around operational side of things. So we have a little tool that's developed now called the Industrial AI Assistant that can help operators to quickly find an issue. Okay, so that's one module. The other is a company that we recently bought as well and put part of the Aviva stable, which is our twin thread module. So if you Google that, that has fully built-in AI modules that can assist in terms of sustainability, efficiency, operational efficiency, etc. Within that space. So we are now the official distributor of that piece of software as well. So we can also add that on top of predictive analytics to add that AI component that you're looking for going forward. Yeah. Cool.
Thank you. Cool. So please, let's give it up for Aviva. The good thing is that we're all still here for lunch. And before lunch, we'll have the facility tour. For those who haven't been already, we'll show you all we have. But before that, let me welcome our senior consultant right here at Alpha Bravo, Engineer Musa Dadi, as he comes forward to give closing remarks, and then we'll move on our way. Please receive him with an applause as he comes forward.
Yeah, okay, yeah. So good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much for honoring our invitations, and I would like to actually acknowledge the presence of so many companies that have been able to grace this occasion. To start with, not in any particular order, we acknowledge the presence of companies like Lux, Iowa, Less Energy, Century, also Ernst & Young. Then we have companies like Numat Energy. We also have Renaissance. We also have companies like Payton, PowerCo, Sepnu, Bolt Reality, and Grand King International. Then again, let me, because I want to make sure that every company's name is mentioned and acknowledged. And we have also Elcrest EMP, and any company here that we've not been able to acknowledge, I think all of us. And then also the host, please, Alpha Bravo. So I can say that actually it was a kind of a wow engagement. We've been able to learn a lot from the discussions that have taken place, and also especially the probing questions, and we've gotten actually some answers, and I hope there is going to be a lot of follow-ups to be able to maximize from what we have had. And also the topic of the discussion about innovation in this oil and gas industry. We have seen on only, what can we say, digital twins and then areas around that. We've actually seen a lot of groundbreaking, especially the one I saw from the Middle East. It was unbelievable. But we have something of a smaller version of this actually in NLNG, which is the digital twin room. Also is like this, and you can see the whole process around, and you try to see how we can even per equipment, everything is down there. So what I'm saying is that these things are available, they are around, they are not like far away. They are here with us, so it's something that all of us can really link into. And to say it again, that thank you very much to all of us that have been able to grace this occasion. And we hope that next time Alpha Bravo gives us a shout that there is going to be something like this, we'll get a lot of more representation and also more participation, and actually getting value into this kind of gathering, networking, part of it, and as well as the knowledge that we are going to get here. So thank you very much for all those that have been able to attend, and we wish all of you safe journey, and then also a fantastic weekend to come. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Engineer Sadi. Thank you very much, everyone. Our MD, Mr. Tambra Okoria is going to lead us on the facility tour. So please join us. Take those things which are yours, but anything you leave behind is also safe in case you were going to come back here. And from the facility tour, we'll proceed to lunch. Enjoy the meal and see you. Conversations continue. We would like for you to stay with us through till lunch because we have good food. I'm telling you, the food is really good. So stay, enjoy the food with us before you go back to work. It's a Thursday afternoon. It's a rainy day. So enjoy our meals and our company.
Thank you once more. Basically, we have, this floor is the Alpha Bravo Engineering Center of Excellence. So you're already familiar with the space that we have. The concept is just simple. This is where our engineers sit and do all the design and all the rest. The other part of it is client focused. When we have jobs, we know that we have the space to accommodate our clients as well. My favorite is the circulation area and the energy hub. So anytime you're working, you feel like sleeping, then of course there is something for you to do. No screens, but we have games, different types of games. So you just go there to energize yourself and come back to work. So briefly, we'll just show you guys our training center of excellence again. We intend to do several trainings that covering the engineering space, laser scanning and all of that. So we'll show you that. We currently occupy the first floor. That's where the administrative office is. Then thereafter, from there, we just go straight to the venue for our lunch. Then we can now call it a day. So once more, thank you very much for finding time to be here with us. So we'll just go on a brief facility tour so you see what we got. All right. Just 1 second. Wait, just 1 second. Okay, so let's just take one more remarks, okay? One more remarks. Our senior brother, Engineer Morris Ifidi, is retired but not tired, former GGM of NAPIMS. I think he has just some few comments to make today.
Okay. I would say, good afternoon, everybody. Well, surprisingly, I should have changed my outlook. Looking corporate, but I just came in and saw cars full, all over cars in the compound. I started asking what was happening. They said Tombra was launching. Launching without me knowing, because I'm also in this building. I'm also a tenant here. I retired from NNPC after putting about 33 years. Started off as a well site geologist, grew up to retire as the group general manager of NAPIMS. I would say a little bit about Tombra and his company, Alpha Bravo. He's an ambitious man. So you see him, he's hardworking, ready to move. And I heard they're doing a digital innovation that has to do with a lot of computer science, computer engineers, so I know you have plenty of them with you. So I would like to encourage him, his partners too. You are working with somebody who is trusted, known in the industry, and is ready to work with you. So I would say for the staff, I would encourage you to put in your best, because who you're working with is somebody who is ambitious and ready to move. So if you are ready to move with him, then you are ready to go. So I would say you're all welcome. I'm not fully dressed, but I think she said local content, so I'm fully compliant. Yeah. So I would say welcome everybody. Enjoy yourself. Enjoy your stay. I'm downstairs. If you still need me, call me.
Yes. Thank you very much. So we are just going on a brief facility tour. Okay. I sent you the invite, I think, but you didn't see it. If you check your phone, if you check your phone, you will see it.
Okay.
So okay. That's what happened. Okay. Well, because you're retired but not tired. So sometimes you are busy playing golf all the time, so you didn't see it.
Oh, yeah,
but that's,
said it all.
But that's okay. So we just go on a brief facility tour, then we have lunch together, then we can call it a day. So guys, as you're leaving, make sure you just get your gift pack before you leave, so that from there we'll go to the next floor, the first floor, then we have lunch, then we go. Thank you, guys.
Thank you. Bobby, soft tunes? Soft music. Bobby, soft music? All right, thank you.